Hello there YouTube and welcome back to another rolling review. On today's video we will be looking at S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Vegeta, or more specifically Super Vegeta, as this is the form he had after achieving it in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber when fighting Cell during most of the Cell Saga and the Cell games. The box art is splendid and features the newly styled artwork like most Dragon Ball Figuarts have. And to prove that it's also the Super Vegeta form, you can see he's very cocky, he's very arrogant, promotes the Final Flash, as well as features him alongside Super Saiyan Trunks, which we previously reviewed here on my channel. Honestly, this is one of the few Vegetas I have longed for, as well as the Majin Vegeta / End of Dragon Ball Z suit design, and I can't wait to open it up and show everyone what it pertains and what it contains. And honestly, one of the best highlights is it's our first one ever released at retail in Japan. Our figure is shown to come with 3 optional face expressions. The cross-armed effect piece that is always pretty much given to a Vegeta or a Piccolo or Trunks or Cell. Actually, I think it's the most seen freaking effect piece that any Dragon Ball figure art shares is that cross-arm effect. As well as he comes with 3 pairs of additional Ki Blast hands. Now, some could be actually used for when he's actually in combat, punching and kicking and blocking and taking an actual martial arts stance, and his cocky thumbs up pointed either to himself hand. Honestly, a well amount of accessories for a, I would say, fairly priced retail figure art. Now, in Dragon Ball, Vegeta is probably the shortest Saiyan in the series, or at least out of the main adult Saiyan males in the show, he is practically the shortest. The only one who would be shorter than him is probably his brother Tarbal. And saying that, Vegeta is one of the few Saiyans to really get buffed up, aside from Trunks when ascending in his stages of Super Saiyan. Now, Vegeta rarely uses this form. Actually, no Saiyan uses this form anymore past the Cell games. And honestly, I think it's kind of stupid. The Ascended form is something that one can easily incorporate to any stage of Super Saiyan, allowing the user to still maintain his speed, as well as increase his actual strength and power output. And it's shown to actually be a more pinnacle and primed specimen of the human physique or the Saiyan physique in that sense, as if their muscles go to the pretty much basic minimum that people would say is the prime excellence of, I guess, physical fitness. His figure is practically the same as Trunks's, just shorter and bulkier due to the Ascended form that he chooses to take, and most of the joints are the same, whether it be in the hips, the knees, the ankle, and the toe. Now, the one better thing about Vegeta than Trunks is he seems to be a lot more tighter when it comes to actually posing and moving the joints. Where Trunks was smooth and went well, Vegeta has a bit of torque to him. And honestly, I think that will prove to be the best aspect to this figure art thus far. Now, I don't have many other Vegeta figure arts. I only have Super Saiyan God and this one. I've passed up every other version until pretty much those 2, which came out specifically this year. And I'm glad to have that. Now, if one wanted to use the cross arms effect, all one really needs to do is just pop the arms off from the bicep and under the shoulder, and bam, there you go. But we're not going to be displaying that effect piece because it's just dull and slightly boring. And his face art is really good, really basic. And the one thing I have to complain about is most of the retail figures, before they're reissued in their premium color edition, are painted to look more like Toriyama's cell shading and artwork to the actual manga, meaning the clothing is slightly faded and the whites are much brighter, where in the show, Vegeta's suit is a lot darker, of a blue than we see here. Like, this blue almost can translate to being indigo for people who may be, like, colorblind or not good at telling the difference between shades of color. Whereas, honestly, in the series, it looks pretty dark navy at times, depending on how he's charging his ki. And when speaking about charging his ki, the optional faces are pretty freaking decent. Now, two faces are mostly Vegeta shouting, very angered. And the only difference between them, really, is the positioning of his eyes, where this one probably is used for fighting stances or shouting at Trunks, who's like either behind him or alongside of him. This one here is for straight on, like, the final flash, when he tried to wipe out Perfect Cell in one blow. And then we have his ever so cocky face. And that's practically all the real accessories he comes with. Optional arms and several face variations. And then just additional hands to recreate signature attacks. It's evaluation time, and for my final evaluation, S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Vegeta, or Super Vegeta, is a wonderfully sculpted figure art. It is honestly one of my favorite forms of Super Saiyan. It is one of my favorite variations of Vegeta, and honestly is probably one of the few figure arts where people need them in their collection, solely due to the fact that most of the Dragon Ball figure arts ever released specifically rely on the dang Android Saga to the Cell Games arc. And anything that isn't from that era is sometimes either lobbied in with pretty much various other parts of the franchise, like the Saiyan, the Frieza, Buu Saga, or Super. So I recommend that that's one of the reasons why one would want to get it, is to recreate that entire display of all the Z-Fighters fighting Perfect Cell. And that's kind of one of the reasons why. I mean, this is also one of the easiest figures to find, whether it be on websites like AmiAmi, HobbyLink Japan, CS Toys, and distributed by Bluefin Tamashii here in North America. So it's going to be very accessible to the public, and it won't be that hard to get it, honestly, because it will be reissued probably countless times due to Tamashii Nations from Japan. So we don't really need to worry about it. So with that being said, I say get it while you can, and don't let this one slip by, but you'll have other times to get it in the future, no doubt about it. I'm Wheelchair21. You can find this video here on my YouTube channel. I suggest that you should subscribe to be further updated with other Tamashii Nations brand products being reviewed here, as well as comment, share, and get the word out there that I do these reviews. You can also like my page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, as well as Instagram. You can check me out over at websites such as Hirotaku, Henshin Justice, and my very own Hero Club.